What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel on this Saturday night, May 20th, 2017. This is your official NXT Takeover Chicago review and results, man. And holy shit, what a fucking show we were treated to tonight. Unbelievable, man. I say the same thing every single time when I come on here and talk about NXT. I say the same thing every single time when I talk about a takeover event, man. It is very difficult to review. It really is. It's easy to review the bad shows. But with takeover, especially this one, man, it's very difficult for takeover in general because the shows are so damn good that you literally got to go back and watch it and dissect it all over again to actually see what happened in these matches all over again. You know, we're watching it, the adrenaline is there, we're paying attention to the fucking multitude of things that's happening on the television screen as it's happening. You don't really appreciate everything, you know, when it happens. You got to go back and review it again and just pick apart certain things that happened that you might have missed in the original first sitting of watching a show like this. Very difficult to review these shows, man. It's easier to pinpoint the bad on a Monday Night Raw than it is the good on TakeOver, because more likely than not, it's always good. But as far as this show goes, man, easily the best TakeOver of 2017, and we're not done yet, man. We got Brooklyn, we got Survivor Series. There's two more TakeOvers at least coming this year, okay? Possibly three. There might be one at the end of the year as well, but this show was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, man. There was not one bad match on this show. The worst match to me was the women's match, and I'll talk about that when we get into the review. But as a whole, this was the best takeover show of 2017, bar none. Bar none. You got to go back to, I'm gonna say, Survivor Series and Takeover Toronto. You got to go back to Takeover Toronto to really rate this show. You know, San Antonio was good. Orlando was good. This was great. This was great. Everything that WWE has done this year as far as TakeOver goes doesn't even pale in comparison to this, man. Absolutely fantastic show. Now, there was a lot going into this show. There was things that happened during the show that raised a lot of questions that we seen happen, and we were wondering why. We were wondering why the NXT Championship was actually put on second to last. Obviously, we know why. Going into the show, we were wondering with the rumors. Were they true? Were DIY going to break up? Was Tommaso Ciampa going to turn on Johnny Gargano? Clearly, we know what happened if you guys watch the show. We'll talk about it. What happens to Hideo Itami after his match with Bobby Roode? Where does Bobby Roode go from here? What happens with Asuka? Where does she go from here after being such a dominant female in WWE? Possibly one of the most dominant female performers in WWE history. What happens with Roderick Strong after another great showing tonight in front of Chicago? What happens? You know? Where does Pete Dunne go from here? Unbelievable. Absolutely fucking unbelievable United Kingdom Championship match. This show was fan-fucking-tastic. Fantastic. And we're going to talk about everything because I got my notes. I got my fucking, my blood is fucking racing, man. What a show, man. When you watch a show like that, again, I say it every single time when you see shows like this, you're proud to be a wrestling fan when you're watching shit like that, man. Really. Really. You're really proud to be a wrestling fan. But I want to thank every one of you guys for joining me here for NXT review on this Saturday night. I am JD. Thank you guys for joining me. If you're not following me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206, please subscribe to the YouTube channel down below and hit that bell for the notification. If you guys missed Off the Script, part number 2 of episode 170, that is live on the channel right now. We talk about Mr. Chicago himself, CM Punk, being offered $1 million to wrestle for 5-Star Wrestling in their 128-man tournament. What do I think about that? And CM Punk being offered $1 million to come back to professional wrestling. All that plus so much more on Off the Script. That video will be live in the annotation you see on the screen right in front of you. Also, if you missed part 1, we go over NXT TakeOver Chicago preview and predictions. We also do Backlash tomorrow night on the WWE Network. We give you preview and predictions as well for that entire show, which I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the results, and I was 5 for 5 for Takeover Chicago, man. Takeover shows are pretty cut and dry. It's pretty easy to predict what's happening on Takeover shows. You just don't know how the fuck we're going to get there. But I was 5 for 5 with my predictions on Takeover. A few misses. Yes, clowns. Adam Cole was not there. I took a chance and I predicted that he would be there. We did not see Adam Cole in the arena tonight. I also predicted wrong about what we seen at the end of the show with DIY. I didn't think WWE was going to go ahead and do that. Clearly, they have other plans. So I got that wrong as well. Those were the only two things I got wrong for TakeOver Chicago. I want to thank, first and foremost, if you guys are watching on YouTube, I'm not sure if I'll push this to Podbean or iTunes. I don't know yet. But if you guys are watching and you see this layout, at MikeWill87 on Twitter, man. He is the man behind my layouts. As always, beautiful job. Very eye-catching. It pops with the yellow. Clearly, you see the tag team champions there, the Authors of Pain, Bobby Roode and Asuka, all three champions in NXT. Thanks to Mike for the great work, as always. Thanks to him for the thumbnail and the Backlash thumbnail and layout that you guys will see tomorrow as well, man. At MikeWill87. Big shout out to him for just doing amazing work, as always, making my reviews the best on YouTube.com. If you guys want to support the show, as always, patreon.com/JD from NY206. You guys can go ahead and pledge to the show if you guys appreciate the content that is pushed out on a daily basis. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. You guys get exclusive rights to the Discord server that I got on there. Exclusive Q&A videos that will be going up weekly from this week moving forward. Also, early access to Off the Script every single weekend. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Great way to support the channel and the podcast. Another great way to support the channel is through Audible. Everybody listening to this NXT review tonight is going to get one free audiobook on me and on Audible just for watching this review, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. My friends over at Audible are offering everybody 30 days to try their service out with one free audiobook. Over 180,000 books to choose from. A lot of those are wrestling related, man, and a lot of you guys have cashed in on AJ Lee. Crazy is my superpower. So if you guys want to go check that out, or if you guys want to go get the Daniel Bryan book, the Bob Holly book, The Death of WCW, if you guys even want to pre-order Jim Ross's new book, who was in attendance tonight for TakeOver, he's got a new book coming out in October. If you guys want to go search for Justin Roberts' new book, which I'm hearing is coming to Audible very, very soon. If you guys want to pre-order Mick Foley's new book coming out at the end of the year, you guys can certainly do that with your free book today. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Compatible with iPhone and Android. And no matter what you guys do, if you guys want to cancel within the 30 days, you get to keep your audiobook for free. No matter what, man. Take advantage of that. Great way to support the channel and the podcast. And finally, t-shirts like this, man. Barbershop Window, official merchandise of Off the Script. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. We are an official partner with the fine people over at Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window, man. 9 different designs on there, including the JD is Negan and the Get Off My TV hit list. Make sure you guys go and check that out. $19.99. They ship worldwide, no matter where you are, and they of the finest quality, man. So make sure you guys go and support with a t-shirt. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. I'm going to start at the top, man. I usually start from the beginning. I'm going to start at the top because I'm really shocked that WWE went ahead with the plan to break up DIY. DIY is incredibly over, man. Incredibly over. They are one of the most underrated tag teams probably in the sport. Johnny Gargano is one of the best in-ring performers as far as storytelling goes that I think you will see in the business. I'm just throwing that out there, man. Gargano is amazing. The story that Gargano tells in the ring and the story that Gargano tells with his facial expressions and the way he sells within that ring is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, man. Easily, probably the best in the WWE, bar none. Tommaso Ciampa has that intensity that you really don't see a lot in wrestling. You know, you don't see that all too often, especially in the WWE. He is a very, very intense individual. Together, they make DIY. Together, they make one of the most over tag teams, one of the most backed, fan-friendly, I gotta fucking cheer for these guys. There's no way you can't cheer for these guys tag team in WWE. Everybody loves DIY, man. Just going back to what they did with the Revival and their tag team title win over the Revival in Toronto. It was amazing, man. Just an amazing run for these guys. But I have always stated, and I stated this back when I did my Cruiserweight Classic review, because in the first round of the Cruiserweight Classic, it was like, I think it was the last match of the first round. It was Gargano versus Ciampa. It was tag team partner versus tag team partner. And the match that they put on was easily one of the best matches of 2016. Something that a lot of people overlooked. But it was certainly in my vision as far as best matches to talk about in 2016. A lot of people overlooked that match. And if you don't remember that match and you don't really recall what happened in that match, I urge you guys to go back and watch that match. I really do. From that match, from that conclusion, when Gargano beat Ciampa in the Cruiserweight Classic, I stated that it's clear to anybody watching these guys, they are each other's best rival. Meaning, and I'm going to use this comparison, but I don't really want to use this comparison because it's completely different, but it's the first thing that pops to mind. This is your modern day Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. It really is. Now, Jannetty and Shawn Michaels did not live up to expectation. It did not, because of, the problems that Jannetty had early on during that breakup. Shawn went on to bigger and better things. Jannetty just floundered, and, he was just there. He never reached the heights that everybody expected him to reach. He fell flat on his face. But I compared in that way because of what happened when Shawn Michaels threw Jannetty through the barbershop window. That was the beginning of a great career for Shawn Michaels, and that really shocked a lot of people because the Rockers were so over. The Rockers were fan favorites. Now, you compare the Rockers and DIY, you can see some similarities, but the overall sense of both situations, it's very similar. Very, very similar. I didn't think WWE was going to break up DIY for the simple fact that there is really no tag teams in NXT. Yeah, you got Tino Sabatelli and you got Riddick Moss. Fine. They're not over. They haven't been given enough exposure on NXT TV every Wednesday. Maybe now we will start seeing them a little bit more. They got a great look. They just need a tag team name that goes with who they are. And they're pretty much set. They got the look, they got the style, they got the theme, and they work very well together. They just need a tag team name that fits, and that's catchy. Then you got Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery just came onto the scene. They were in the Dusty Classic. They really were just two guys thrown together to just fill a spot in the tournament. But they ended up getting a name, and they ended up getting a gimmick, and they ended up getting matching outfits. So they look like a cohesive tag team unit. And Heavy Machinery has been on a nice little run in NXT. And even before we got to Takeover Chicago, I was saying it looks like WWE might very well be headed to a fucking Godzilla versus T-Rex match here with both of these teams, They might be headed towards Heavy Machinery versus Authors of Pain at TakeOver in Brooklyn. And after tonight, we may very well be getting that. That was my original thought once I seen Heavy Machinery, and then I seen, Authors of Pain are still the tag team champions. I don't see the Authors of Pain losing anytime soon. Tonight was the biggest chance that we seen for the Authors of Pain to lose because it was a ladder match, and ladder matches are very unpredictable. But Heavy Machinery and Tino Sabatelli, Riddick Moss. Then you got the Authors of Pain. You got the tag team champions. They are a very dominant team led by Paul Ellering. 3 teams right there. DIY, you had 4, but now you don't have DIY because of what happened tonight to close TakeOver. TM61 should be back, hopefully, towards the end of the summer. Okay? TM61 should be back. I believe Shane Thorne blew his knee out, and that team is no more. So they're waiting for them to rehabilitate, or waiting for him to rehabilitate, so we can get TM61 back. Maybe WWE is thinking, you know what, maybe TM61 is ahead of schedule. Maybe TM61 will be back sooner than we expect, and we can add another team to the tag team division, and it might have been okay to break up DIY tonight. I don't know. But the tag team division right now is sorely lacking in NXT. I didn't think they would go ahead with it. I really did not. But in the back of my mind, for a year now, I'm thinking Ciampa and Gargano are each other's greatest rival. Easily. And we're going to see that. Now, I was wondering when we watched the show tonight why Bobby Roode and Hideo Itami was actually on second to last. I didn't understand that. The one thing that was running through my head here tonight, when I seen the match order, was, is WWE really preventing a huge CM Punk GTS chant at the end of the show? Did they not want the CM Punk chants to rain down to close the show? Were they really going to give Hideo Itami the NXT Championship tonight with the GTS? And they were afraid of what the backlash would be in Chicago, him using Punk's move, even though we know Punk took it from Kenta. That was something I was thinking about. I was also thinking about, does WWE not have faith in Hideo Itami to lead NXT and close a takeover event? That was something else I was thinking. That was something else I was thinking as to why this match wasn't going on last, being that it's the NXT Championship match. You know? But as we went on, and as we seen the world title match come and go, and we seen what the main event was, and we got a great ladder match, and we seen the ending of the ladder match, it became very, very clear as to what WWE was doing and why they put the tag team title match on last. Because there was a big storyline to come. And the big storyline was Gargano was betrayed by Tommaso Ciampa. Now, I'm not the only one who thought this. I know for a fact I'm not the only one who thought this. I honestly thought the way this show was going to end with what we seen before the attack, I thought this was their swan song. I thought this was their farewell to NXT. I thought we would be seeing them on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I'm thinking that if they got promoted together, they would have went to Monday Night Raw. But I thought this was they're pretty much, they're done with NXT after tonight. That's the way it looked. That's the way it seemed. That's the ovation. That's the type of reaction that they got. That's the type of feeling I got watching that. The way they sat Indian style in the ring, hugging each other. The way they embraced each other as they stood up in the ring. As they embraced each other walking out of the ring. As they embraced each other looking at the crowd on top of the stage. And then all of a sudden, Gargano is struck in the face by Ciampa. I was about to walk away to do my review. I'm like, what the fuck? They actually are going through with it. They actually are going through with it. There were rumors this week that an unknown singer, I forgot her name, I reported it on Off the Script, on part 1. She might have spilled the beans a little bit early. The tweet was then deleted about a day later. She said that she was writing new theme music for Johnny Gargano because of whatever reason. People speculated that we could see the breakup, the imminent demise of DIY. Those rumors actually turned out to be true. I was hoping they were not true, because I think DIY right now anyway, right now is more valuable together than they are separated. But what a fucking attack, man. What a way to end this show. I don't have any problem with the NXT Championship going on second to last as far as WWE ending the show the way that they did. I don't mind that at all. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That NXT Championship match was very good, but it wasn't as big as what we've seen tonight. DIY is huge. They are beloved in NXT. The fact that they had Ciampa turn on Gargano tonight in the most vicious way that they could possibly script it, giving this guy 2 huge running knees that landed Gargano right in front of the announce booth, right at the feet of Nigel McGuinness. They all scrambled away. All of a sudden, he rolls Gargano on top of the announce desk and does a white noise. I thought he was going to do a white noise through the announce desk. He jumps off the announce desk and he does a white noise through the fucking tables that are laying on the ground right next to the fucking announce table. Off the announce table, off the stage. Absolutely brutal spot. The show ended with fucking chants of asshole and fuck you, Ciampa. That's how many people disliked what Ciampa did tonight. Absolutely fantastic way to end the show. I'm not for it, but I don't hate it. Because I know the matches that those two are going to give us, holy shit. Holy shit. That's something that's going to be a treat for literally everybody who is a fan of professional wrestling. Those guys are going to tear the fucking house down. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a short-term thing. I don't know if this is just going to be through the summer. Because, like I said, I see more value in Ciampa and Gargano as a tag team. The value there in a tag team is much more than it is separated. I don't want to see them go to 205 Live. I don't. I think that is a waste of massive potential for both men. I think they're most valued as a tag team on Monday Night Raw, reliving what they did with the Revival in NXT on Monday nights. That's how I would do it. Now, in the future, we don't know what could happen. We don't know what the future holds. These guys can go at it. These guys can battle each other fucking and beat each other fucking senseless for the entire summer, leading up to a big match at TakeOver Brooklyn. Maybe they reconcile. Maybe they get back together. And then maybe they get promoted. And then maybe they're together as a tag team on the main roster again. I don't know. But all I know is, yes, they are each other's greatest villains. Yes, we are going to be treated to great fucking matches between these two. But right now, the NXT Tag Team division is sorely lacking. Does this mean TM61 is coming back? Because there has to be a reason why WWE went ahead with this breakup the way that they did. Or maybe they're going to bring in another team that we don't even know of. I don't know. Maybe Kyle O'Reilly's coming. Maybe Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are really coming in. I don't fucking know. Maybe Red Dragon's coming in. I don't know. Because they must have a plan if they're willingly breaking up DIY with a tag team division that pretty much is non-existent right now. Right now, you have 2 legit teams in that division. 2. They must have some type of plan for them to accelerate these plans that we've seen tonight. I don't know. I loved it, but I wouldn't have done it yet. But it was a great way to close the show. As far as the ladder match goes, man, Jesus fucking Christ, I'm telling you, there was some spots in this match that just made me turn my fucking head, man, and just cringe as far as how brutal it was. There was a spot that Gargano and Ciampa set up 2 huge ladders adjacent to one another where the aisleway is on the barricade and the ring. They propped the ladder up on the ring and the barricade. They laid both Akam and Razor on the ladder. Okay? Ciampa jumped off the ladder. He broke the ladder as he went through one of the Authors of Pain. He almost overshot himself, but the ladder did break. Gargano on the other end, he completely overshot the Authors of Pain, and the ladder did not break. So that was a brutal spot that really could have ended miserably. Brutal spot. There was another spot where Gargano was on his hands and knees, and I swear to God, man, I had visions of fucking execution, you know? It was like the Authors of Pain were just ready to execute somebody just because, man. Gargano was begging for, I believe he was, what was it? He was laying on his hands and knees, and the Authors of Pain, they took the ladder and duel hand in hand with the ladder. They rammed Gargano in the face with the top of a ladder, and he just fucking got blasted to the point where he was out of commission for the rest of the match. Authors of Pain set up the ladder to go retrieve the titles, And then all of a sudden, Ciampa comes out of nowhere. He sees one of the Authors of Pain climbing up the ladder. Now, there was another ladder that was propped up, angled in the corner on one of them big ladders. Ciampa takes one of the Authors of Pain and does a fucking suplex off the top of the ladder, through the ladder that is angled and adjacent, hanging on the turnbuckle. The ladder shatters in half like I've never seen a ladder shatter in half before in my entire life, man. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Akam and Razor. You really can't tell because they got their fucking name tags on. I don't know who it was, but that motherfucker's going to be waking up with bruises galore on his fucking back, man. He's going to wake up one sore motherfucker tomorrow. Holy shit. So this was the opening that DIY needed. They both tried to climb the ladder. I'm like, come on, do it. Do it. Do it. We're going to get new tag team champions. They're climbing up the ladder. They're about to retrieve the titles. The Authors of Pain get back up. And Gargano and Ciampa had the ladder taken out from underneath them. They're hanging from the fucking thing that holds the titles. All of a sudden, both Authors of Pain grab them off the little thing that's hanging with the titles, and they powerbomb both Gargano and Ciampa simultaneously. They pick them back up, super collider. And then, boom, done. They climb the ladder. 1, 2, 3. It is over. The Authors of Pain retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. What a fucking match, man. Holy shit. You got to go back. You got to go back and watch it, dude. You got to go back and watch it. Everything about this. And you know what? It wasn't even the match of the night. I predicted this would be the match of the night. It was damn near the match of the night, but it was not the match of the night. And the funny thing is, with Gargano, when he got blasted, he was crawling. He was crawling. And the one thing that I noticed, man, the thing that I love about Johnny Gargano is the way he fucking sells. When he got blasted with that ladder, execution style, by both Akam and Razor, he flipped over. He was blasted in the fucking face. He was crawling to fucking grab any breath of fucking air that he could. Authors of Pain took the fucking ladder. They started dragging the ladder. Gargano was like lifelessly trying to grab the ladder so that they couldn't take it and go beat Ciampa with it. It was just amazing, man. What a fucking match. What a fucking match. That concluded with the Authors of Pain retaining the tag team championships, and then, as you guys know, we've seen the turn from Ciampa on Gargano. It's going to be very interesting at the next set of TV tapings as to why he did it, because I don't have any good reason as to why. I don't know, maybe he thinks Gargano was the weakest link on that team. Maybe he thinks Gargano is the weakest link on that team and the reason why they have not won the NXT Tag Team Championships again. I don't know, but we are in for a treat, man. Gargano and Ciampa are going to be a fucking classic. I don't know if it's going to last, but I enjoyed what happened tonight. I just think it might have been a little bit too premature. Authors of Pain win in the main event of NXT Takeover Chicago. They retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. Bobby Roode versus Hideo Itami. This is the match that went on before the main event. I'm going backwards. Instead of going forward to back, I'm going back to forward. Bobby Roode, as you guys know, he's simply amazing. He's a quintessential fucking champion. Guy's a fucking superstar. They had a unique entrance for Bobby Roode tonight. They had something that looked like garage band or guitar band, what a Guitar Hero, one of them fucking, rock band. It looked like a fucking, on the Titantron, it looked like rock band playing with the piano lining up with all the fucking notes. It looked like, if you play Guitar Hero, it looks like the fucking board in the game. So they did that. Nice little piano intro playing. And then Bobby Roode made his entrance, as always, fucking beautiful. Crowd was heavily into it. Bobby Roode has been the NXT champion for a little bit now. The one thing I was worried about is Hideo Itami. That's the one thing I was worried about here. I knew this was going to be a very, very hard-hitting match. I knew this was going to be a good match. But I didn't know how good it was going to be. 10 minutes in, probably less than that, the Chicago faithful started to chant, "This is boring." Now, I don't know why that was. Maybe there was too many kicks. Maybe there was too many rest holds in the beginning. The action didn't pick up. But it was a little bit premature for the Chicago fans to start chanting, "This is boring." The match did pick up. Now, I told you before when we were talking about the Tag Team Championship match, I was worried about why this match was going on before the main event. I was worried why the tag team championships was going on last and this was going on before the tag team title match. I was worried that maybe WWE didn't believe in Hideo Itami as a main event guy. That's not the case at all. This was a main event caliber match. Hideo Itami is a main event caliber talent. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. This was a very, very good match. Was it Itami's best match? No. I think Itami had a better match with Roderick Strong a couple of weeks ago compared to this. This was very good. That match was great. The main thing in this match was the story that was behind everything that these guys did. Bobby Roode ran into the steel post. They made that a huge deal in this match. Before that, they made it seem like the GTS was the end-all be-all. If he nails the GTS, it's over. If he gets the GTS on Bobby Roode, we got a new NXT champion. Bobby Roode nailed himself on the steel post, and the shoulder of Bobby Roode was a big factor in this match. Itami, at one point, targeted the shoulder. He sent Bobby Roode crashing, shoulder first into the ring steps. Then he moved out of the way, because Itami was lining him up for something, a big spot. Itami ran full steam ahead and drop kicked the steel steps as Bobby Roode moved out of the way. So now we got Bobby Roode with an injured shoulder, and the story now adds another layer to Hideo Itami injuring his legs. So now the main factors of this match were Roode's shoulder and Itami's legs. Glorious DDT is not going to be an easy thing to pull off with a injured shoulder. The GTS is not going to be an easy thing to pull off if you have no legs to carry your weight. So that's the main thing that was going into this match. Both guys got back in the ring. Itami started really going at Bobby Roode with a series of strikes, fists, and kicks. He connected with his running drop kick in the corner, selling his leg. He then tried to go for the GTS, but the story where his legs are now injured, his legs gave out. He couldn't apply the GTS. Bobby Roode then hit the implant DDT, but the story was, and this is why Nigel McGuinness is so great, the story was that he had an injured shoulder. He hit the implant glorious DDT, but it was not fully effective because of that injured shoulder. Roode made the cover, 2 count, Itami kicks out. So now Roode was frustrated. This allowed Itami to hit a pop-up and deliver a GTS. He hit the GTS. He popped up. He hit the GTS. But Bobby Roode rolled out of the ring. Fans started to chant CM Punk. Then there was a mixture of boos. I don't know why, but maybe the Chicago fans or maybe some of the fans of Chicago were booing at the fans cheering for CM Punk. I don't know. Whatever the reason may be. I don't know, but he hit the GTS. Bobby Roode rolled out of the way. Hideo Itami went after him. He rolled him back in the ring. But it was too late. The GTS and the effects of the GTS was too long. Bobby Roode was rolled back into the ring. Itami only got a 2 count. But after that, I swear to God, man, I would never on this earth want to be struck by Hideo Itami the way he struck Bobby Roode tonight, man. Holy fucking shit. I got a fucking headache just watching Hideo Itami tee off on Bobby Roode. I don't even know how Bobby Roode fucking finished this match with the way Hideo Itami was nailing this guy, man. Some of the stiffest fucking shots I think you will see all year delivered on Bobby Roode. But he tried to lift Roode up for the GTS. Roode slipped out of the way and hit the implant DDT. He kept it applied. He rolled through. He hit another implant DDT that was absolutely fucking gorgeous. For the win, 2 implant glorious DDTs. 1, 2, 3. Bobby Roode retains the NXT Championship, man. What a fucking sequence to close that match. Very, very good championship match. It was definitely worthy of a main event spot. And Hideo Itami is a main event caliber talent for NXT. Very, very good match. Bobby Roode is fantastic. I love the way he works. I love his overall fucking, his shtick. He is a absolute gold mine when he hits the main roster, man. And I swear to God, man, if he shows up on SmackDown Live, I may pop more than I did for Nakamura, man. Bobby Roode is a fucking superstar in WWE, and he's going on to be, I'm telling you right now, a future WWE champion. Great shit here. Roode retains the NXT Championship, defeats Hideo Itami in the championship match at NXT Takeover Chicago. Women's Championship match. Asuka, Ruby Riott, and Nikki Cross. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, man. This was a fun match. It was a chaotic match. I love the interaction between Nikki Cross and Asuka, but if there was one match on this show that I kind of zoned out for, it was this one. The absence of Ember Moon really took me out of this match, man, because I knew kinda that Asuka was not going to lose the title. I knew Ruby Riott wasn't going to win the title. I knew Nikki Cross was not really set up for the title yet. Asuka remains the NXT Women's Champion here. The one thing that I did notice was the fact that the ending looked a little botched. The ending was a little off. Because there was a sequence where I think Ruby Riott was about to pin Nikki Cross, and Asuka, I don't know if she was late, I don't know what was going on, but the referee, you could see the referee clear as day, delay his 3 count, waiting for Asuka to come in and make the save, as she hits a Shining Wizard, and pins both Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross at the same time. But Asuka retains the championship. This was a fun match. The ladies really worked hard tonight. But Asuka remains dominant as the most dominant female in WWE, bar none. A lot of people were worried about Asuka pinning both at the same time. Oh my god, it buries both Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Nobody can be buried by Asuka because Asuka's been burying people since day one. Okay, so don't worry about Asuka burying anybody, man. This is the way you need to build up Asuka. And without Ember Moon in the match, why the fuck not? Ember Moon looks to be the one to take down Asuka. At this point, I don't even know if I would have Asuka lose. That's just me. I would wait till the Women's Championship tournament's over. I really would. And I would have that winner fight Asuka at TakeOver Brooklyn. That's just me. But I think the finals will be happening after TakeOver Brooklyn. We still don't even know what the winner is going to get when they win that championship or when they win that tournament. We don't know yet, but that we'll talk about when we cross that bridge. Asuka retains the NXT Women's Championship. She defeats Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross. Botched ending, fun match. Not really something I was completely invested in. With the injury to Ember Moon, it really took me a little bit out of this match, and I really didn't care at the end of the day. I really did not. I don't even know how to review this match, man. I really don't. I really don't even know what to say. Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate. Holy shit. If there's one thing you guys got to go back and watch on this show, it's this match. It is this match. I'm telling you this right now, out of everything that we've seen on WWE television so far in 2017, this is the match of the year. This is the match of the year so far. May 20th. Okay? It's 11:21. I'm still doing this review. At this hour, this is the match of the year in WWE, bar none. Pete Dunne is a fucking beast. Tyler Bate is a fucking beast. And you know what? They are in their early 20s. And if they're performing this great in their early 20s, God knows what these guys are capable of as they go on and on and on to have a prolonged career. Holy shit, man. The crowd was all over this match, which I was afraid of. I was afraid of this show peaking early. I was afraid of these guys really sucking the life out of this crowd because of how great this match was. Jim Ross and Nigel McGuinness called this match. They are the new commentary duo for the UK specials. Jim Ross actually took a back seat to this match. Jim Ross was not really a lead on this match. He let Nigel McGuinness lead, which I don't have a problem with because Nigel McGuinness is more apt to knowing these guys and giving us the background. And Nigel McGuinness tells a great story when it comes to these guys, man. It's the reason why he's doing the UK special, and that's the reason why they brought him into NXT, man, because he knows what's happening in the ring. He is very aware of what's going on in the ring, and he applies that to his commentary and makes it he makes it into a great overall presentation. He really makes it into a sports-like environment, and I love that about him. He took the lead more so than Jim Ross here. Jim Ross, I don't know what was wrong with Jim Ross, man. He sounded a little off the first 5 minutes in this match, and then when the match got on and the match went forward, he started to get a little bit more excited because, I mean, who the fuck did not? I mean, you gotta be fucking ice cold in your fucking veins if you didn't have any excitement for this match. Ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. Match of the year for WWE, bar none. The match started off slow. They kind of felt each other out. A lot of chain wrestling. Pete Dunne, bending of the hands, bending of the wrist, leg locks, wrist locks. It started off very slow. All of a sudden, we see Tyler Bate with his signature airplane spin, man. One of the fastest airplane spins I have ever seen, and I was thinking to myself, boy, the airplane spin is a cool-looking move, but is it really that effective? Tyler Bate's the one delivering the airplane spin, but he's the one receiving the most damage from the airplane spin. Because he's carrying Pete Dunne on his shoulders, and he's fucking spinning around like a maniac. At the end of the fucking move, you're fucking completely drained. Because you're carrying another man's weight, and you're spinning around yourself. So I really don't understand the logic behind an airplane spinning, but it looked fantastic. He was so dizzy, he bounced off the ropes, and then bounced onto Pete Dunne, near fall for a 2, okay? And thank fucking Christ, Chicago. I gotta make mention of this here, because I fucking hate it. Every 2 count, you do the 2 sweet. Suck my dick with that fucking chant. Really. It is fucking awful. You fucking people who made these fucking chants, the 10 chant, it's starting to get annoying every time you fucking count along with the referee and you count 10. The 2 sweet after every fucking near fall is ridiculous. At least let the match fucking build up and use it in the closing segments of the match. You don't have to use it after every fucking near fall. Fuck the Wolf Pack, man. Seriously. Hate wrestling fans sometimes. Anyway. Airplane spin for a near fall. I just wanted to get that out there. It was a near fall with the airplane spin. Both guys were just fucking out of their mind dizzy. Things started to pick back up. Tyler Bate sprung off the middle turnbuckle. Huge forearm shot by Pete Dunne. Dunne then, he wasted absolutely no time. Followed up with a huge power bomb for a near fall. And the crowd was going crazy, man. Chants of "this is awesome." Chants of UK. You guys, you know you're watching something special when they're chanting UK in Chicago. These guys were fucking all over the place. So, they were going back and forth, man. It was a complete slugfest. Huge shots back and forth by Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, going back and forth. And Tyler Bate, off the fucking ropes, rebounded off the ropes into a fucking lariat for a near fall. Once again, crowd again start chants UK. They were chanting "fight forever." Tyler Bate then hooked Pete Dunne for the Tyler driver, but his arm, which was being worked on by Pete Dunne in the match, gave out. Pete Dunne escaped. Dunne then hooked a pump handle flatliner, but Bate turned it into a huge DDT where we seen Pete Dunne's head bounce off the fucking mat. Dunne rolled to the outside. Bate followed right up with a huge moonsault off the second rope to the outside. Nailed it perfectly. Back in the ring, Bate then connected with a spiral 450 off the top rope. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Off the top rope, near fall. At this point, the crowd is going fucking crazy. Crowd is going crazy. Bate then set up for a dive on the outside. He missed. He came up empty. And he ate an elbow from Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne seen this as his opportunity to pretty much end this match. Toss Bate back in the ring. And an absolutely picture perfect, one of the prettiest fucking finishes you will ever see, man. Bitter end pump handle flatliner for the clean win. Pete Dunne is your new UK champion. Unbelievable match, man. These guys went 16 minutes and not 1 minute was fucking wasted. Match of the year for WWE in 2017 as of right now. If there's one match you guys got to go back and watch, it is Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate. Something that I was excited for, but I didn't think it was going to be the best match of the night. They shut everybody up. Match of the night, match of the year for WWE. And finally, guys, Roderick Strong versus Eric Young here for the opener of NXT Takeover Chicago. Roderick Strong's been built up fairly decently in the last coming weeks, man. He had a great match with Hideo Itami, and this match was a culmination of the attack that we seen on WWE.com as an exclusive. Sanity attacked Roderick Strong after the match and pretty much laid waste to him for whatever reason. They ridiculed him. They mocked his family. They mocked the birth of his son. So Roderick Strong was backstage with William Regal. He wants Sanity. He wants Eric Young. Match was booked for TakeOver. It opened the show. Roderick Strong didn't even come down the aisleway, man. He didn't. He was loved by Chicago. He didn't come down the aisleway. They were all looking. All three guys of Sanity were looking down the aisleway. He didn't come through the curtain. He came through the crowd. Blindsided Alexander Wolf. Blasted Killian Dane. Got in the ring and then took care of business with Eric Young. Most of this match, Eric Young had dominated Roderick Strong. Dominated, okay? But it was very hard-hitting like I expected. Roderick Strong was trying to fight off everybody here. Nikki Cross was not outside as she was preparing for her match later in the evening with Asuka and Ruby Riott. But it was 3-on-1. Quintessentially, it was 3-on-1, okay? Roddy tried to fight off both Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf, wiping them out at ringside. He lifted Eric Young overhead in the ring, but Young raked the eyes brutally and escaped, I believe, what was about to be a backbreaker. They kept fighting. Eric Young went to the top turnbuckle. Roderick Strong landed a fucking brutal knee that stunned Eric Young. And Eric Young tumbled to the outside and fell right onto Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf. Took them both out. Back in the ring, Roderick Strong hits a huge knee lift and then landed his suplex into a double knee backbreaker that looked absolutely fucking brutal. And I think that's the first time that he's used that in WWE. And he secured a pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong beat Eric Young, which I expected him to do, man. And that's a big win for Roderick Strong. That is a big win for Roderick Strong, man. He not only beat Eric Young, but he lasted and did something nobody else could. And he took out all of Sanity. Now, I don't know where they go with Roderick Strong for here. It looks like they're propelling him into, they're propelling him up the ranks. I don't think he's going to be the next in line for Bobby Roode, but they're making a strong case for Roderick Strong to be at least in contention for the NXT Championship. All in all, it was a very physical match. Perfect way to start this show. Crowd was all over it. Crowd was very hot for Roderick Strong. And Roddy, again, another solid victory here, another solid showing after them pretty much hitting the reset button with him and showing those video packages and a glimpse into his life and getting you to know who Roderick Strong is. Great match with Hideo Itami. Great match with Eric Young here to open the show. And he lasted and he beat all of Sanity to open NXT Takeover Chicago, man. Roderick Strong, make a solid case for him to be in contention for the NXT Championship after tonight. And that is your review, man. Absolutely fantastic show. If you guys missed it, I urge you guys to go back and watch it, especially that Pete Dunne match with Tyler Bate for the UK Championship and that ladder match. Unbelievable stuff. Great fucking night. Looking forward to Backlash tomorrow. I'll be right here covering it, as always, for you guys right here on the channel. Thank you all so very much. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the review. And follow me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206. Subscribe to the channel down below and hit that bell for the notification. Make sure you guys check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206, and Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. I am JD. I'll be back with Off the Script tomorrow, and then Backlash, review and results, right after the pay-per-view goes off the air on the WWE Network. I am JD. Have a great Saturday night, and I'll see you all on Sunday morning. Talk to you later.